Okay, we are live, and I'm really hoping this is working. Hello, everybody. This is Rachel. We're live on YouTube, and I'm hoping everyone can hear me. It's a long time since I've done a YouTube live and used this software, so please do send me a little message in the chat to let me know it's working, because that would be great. But then, of course, if it's not working, you can't hear me anyway. But I think, according to my software up here, the sound is working. I can see myself on the screen. So, yes, it's all going okay. So, thank you for joining me for this special birthday practice. A really great way to start my next decade, sharing what I love with you out there, and also contributing back to an organisation that I've been working with for quite a long time now, with various charity events, and that is Mind. But I've focused on Solent Mind, which is the branch of Mind that's based in this area that I live in, Hampshire. So thank you so much to everybody that's donated, and if you haven't donated yet and you want to, no pressure, just enjoy the practice if that helps you as well. But if you want to donate, there should be a link in the description below, and if not, you can email me afterwards. So yeah, let's start. Okay, now it might be useful if you have a chair, something to sit on. You don't need particularly lots of yoga equipment, because obviously I'm teaching this online to people that I may not know. Some of you I know very well. Thank you for coming. So it's going to be a very basic class, and if you can't sit on the floor, you can sit in your chair, but make sure you're sitting upright, and have things like a cushion, maybe a tie or a belt if you have one. A yoga belt is always good, but any kind of tie. But if you haven't got any of that stuff, don't worry, because there's going to be modifications for everybody. So we're just going to start by sitting. The practice will be around 45 minutes long, 40 to 45 minutes long, and there will be a relaxation at the end. Okay, so we're going to start just by sitting either with the legs crossed, or if you've got any knee problems, you can stretch your legs out, or as I said, sit in the chair, and then lift up through the sides of the body and just draw your shoulders back. So feel that you've got that lift up in the front body and that broadness across the back body. And then just rest your hands onto your thighs. If it's easier for you to keep your hands on the floor or on your chair, just keep your hands there to help you ascend the spine and lift the chest. And then we're just going to close the eyes for a few minutes. Those that want to press the palms together in front of the chest in the Namaskar Mudra or Anjali Mudra. And we're just observing the breath. So that soft, smooth inhalation and soft, smooth exhalation, bringing that quietness down. And if you hear any noises, there we go. A delivery has arrived just in time. And just gently breathe. And then we'll release the hands, gently open the eyes. And on live YouTube, I'm just going to tell the driver that we're live. Can you leave outside? Sorry, everyone. He's not understanding my... Sorry. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, I knew that would happen. I'm back. Okay, so open your eyes, stretch out your legs. That just proves that it's live. And it wasn't even a bunch of flowers, it was just a packet of pills. So press your legs down, roll your shoulders back. And then we're going to come up to standing. Okay, so hopefully that's the last interruption. So just stand up, and we're going to start with a little bit of arm work. And if you find it easier to have your legs apart to stand, then do that. And ideally take your socks off if you've got socks on, so that you can feel the floor beneath your feet. You can see your toes, you can see the skin on your feet. And if you can stand with your legs together, stand with your legs together. I'm going to keep my legs apart so that those that are following who maybe not that familiar, you can follow me. Those that are more experienced, you can just stand in Tadasana. And we're going to stretch the arms down. And as you stretch your arms down, open the palms, spread your fingers, stretch the skin of the hands, and keep those shoulders rolling back. So if you use your hands really well, you'll find that the muscles further up the arm actually interact. If you just relax your hands and the hands are heavy and you're just hanging your arms, that's one way to stand. But when you're standing to lift yourself up, you use every part of the body. And if you're lucky enough to have limbs, use them. And then we're going to take the arms out to the sides. So make sure you've got room. You're going to take one arm out, then the other arm out. And again, if you've got any mobility issues, anything like that where this is hurting in the shoulders, then just bring the arms to where you can manage without pain. Spread from the corners of your collarbones to your fingertips and look along your arms and see that they're parallel to the floor. And keep your feet pressing very firmly down. And we're going to turn the palms forwards towards the screen and then turn them all the way up towards the ceiling. And then keep the arms moving further back. So it's like you're trying to bring your thumbs to touch behind you. Okay, now from there, see if you can take the arms up. See if you can lift into what we call Urdhva Hastasana, so upward facing arms, upward arms pose. And you can see with me, I've got one stiffer shoulder, so this arm tends this arm tends to move out a little bit. So again, if you're stiff, if you've got problems with the shoulder joints and you're like this, it's better to keep your arms slightly wider and then lift the sides of your body and see if you can get your arms to go closer towards the sides of the head. Don't worry about your hands touching, that comes later, but focus more on really lifting. Okay, and then we'll bring the arms out to the sides, turn the palms and bring the arms down. Again, just roll the shoulders back a few times and stretch the arms down. Okay, now the second one we're going to do, we're going to interlock the fingers, thumbs touching, and then turn the palms away. Now, if that presents a problem, if you've got arthritic fingers, you can hold the wrists like that, all right? But otherwise, press the palms forwards. Now, as the palms come forwards, don't let your knees drop. So keep your knees lifting and suck the kneecaps back and take the arms up. And press to the ceiling. Try not to swing your hips forwards when you do that. So I've got a bit of a bendy back, so I can easily sort of do that. You see that? So you've got to try and keep your thighs pressing back, keep your navel lifting, and everybody's got a natural curve. They should have a natural curve in their back. So we're not trying to flatten the back like this, okay? That would be anti-nature. So there is a natural curve, but we don't want to overdo that curve. All right, and then bring the arms down and change the interlock. So you have your normal interlock, then you move the fingers over so the other first finger's on top. All right, so it's the same pose, but you're just moving the fingers over one, and then turn the palms forwards. Once again, raise the arms up, push to the ceiling, draw the two sides of the waist up, spread your toes, and then bring the arms down. Relax, again, roll those shoulders back. Okay, now we're going to take that pose and bring it behind the back. If you can't catch your fingers and you've got a belt, you can catch a belt. So, you know, if you find bringing your hands this close is difficult, take your hands wider on the belt like that. Okay, so either clasp the hands or use a belt, or you can catch the wrist again, and then you're moving the arms down and back, down and back. So things that can happen here is that again, or some people do that. So try and keep your legs really firm as you move the arms back. See how far you can go. And then release and come back. And those that have clasped the fingers, you can change the interlock. And those of us that are using the belt will just repeat. They'll just repeat that. Feel that lift up through the side of your chest into your armpit. Keep those legs nice and firm, but relax your toes. Head and chest lifting. So you don't have to look up at the ceiling, but definitely don't look down at the floor. And then release, relax, and let go. Right. So the next one we're going to do, I'm going to take my watch off. No, actually I'll keep my watch on. For the next one, I'll show from the back. We're doing Gomukhasana. So this hand, the left hand, is going to wriggle in between the shoulder blades like that. So you might find your hand comes to here. Absolutely fine. Do whatever you can. All right. Then the other arm, the right arm, stretch it up. Stretch it as high as you can before you drop it back. So even if your hands are like that, don't worry about getting a belt. Just do that. Or if you can, see if you can catch. So we've got the left arm up the back first. I'll show from this side actually. So this right arm here, don't let it drop forwards or out to the side. That's really quite bad for your shoulder. So lift the arm up so that it's vertical. So if you were to straighten the arm, it would come straight up, like so. And if it's too hard, again, you know, you're in control of your body this morning because I can't see you. So if that's too difficult, just do the bottom arm. Just do that. Just work on that shoulder rolling back. And you might feel the tightness in this shoulder. So roll the shoulder back, try and get the shoulder blade in. All right, and then stretch that arm down, give it a bit of a roll back, and then we'll do the other side. So my right side is often stiffer, so I just give this arm a little bit more movement first before I bring it up the back, because that right shoulder is much stiffer. And I can use the left hand to just push the hand into the center of the back like that. Don't twist your wrist, but try and get the hand flat to the back, even if the hand is down here. And this is quite good actually for people that haven't got much mobility. Just put the arm across your back, because you're getting a similar action. And then again, that left arm, stretch it up, lift up, get as tall as you can before you drop the hand back and catch. And then lift that elbow up, move the head back so you're not dropping the head forwards or sideways. And then slowly release that left arm, release your right arm, release your left, and then roll the shoulders back a few times. Okay. All right. Sorry, just got to do that. Okay, so that's the arm and shoulder work. And there's lots more we can do, but I thought we'd just start off with those simple things. And what we're going to do now is we're going to come over to a wall. So just ignore the fact that there's a chair there, but I'm going to go up to the wall and place my palms more or less in line with the chest, and then step back until I feel my body's parallel to the floor and my legs are vertical. Now, to tell whether your legs are vertical or not, if you move your feet too far back, you can feel the slant. If you move them too far in, you can feel the shortness in your back. So then you go somewhere in between. And most people, when they do that, those two extremes, they get their legs in the right place. Okay, push the wall with your palms. Spread your palms, spread your fingers. Draw your hips back. Try not to drop your head right down. You've got to look at your feet to see that they're parallel, and lift your kneecaps up. Get those quadriceps firing. But then eventually bring the head forward slightly so the ears are in line with the upper arms, and grip your arms towards each other. Imagine you were squeezing a block between your inner elbows. Try not to round the back, but try not to overarch. So how do we tell? Well, if you lift your navel towards your spine and then at the same time press your thighs back, you'll get the length in your trunk, and you'll get an even stretch in the front and back body. All right, and then come up. It's quite strong, that one, isn't it? So, if you find it too exhausting to hold it for as long as I'm holding it, then please come out. Okay, so what we'll do now, we're going to just have a go at doing that again, but raising one leg up. All right, so this gets a bit stronger. So you can always just repeat this, stay back one level. So we'll bring the feet together this time and keep the head up. And you're going to take your left leg back very carefully. So you don't have to take it very high. If you take it too high too quickly, this tends to happen, you twist. So we want to keep the pelvis facing the floor. So see if you can extend your left leg back. So you're learning to balance on one leg. You can even just put the toes back slightly if you're not weight bearing. Just move that foot back slightly. So that automatically makes the other leg, the right leg, work harder, even without lifting the leg off the floor. Bring the leg down, readjust your pose, step the right toes back, either keep the foot there or raise the leg a little bit or raise the leg more, but don't go above hip height. And again, you have to sort of feel that really. You can look in the mirror, but I guess you can look at a screen. Okay, and then bring that leg down and we'll come up and stand up. Now, this is when we're going to split into various groups. And you're going to take your chair. This is particularly important for those with mobility issues to have the wall and a chair, because we're going to practice, again, being on one leg. So this is how I would do it with somebody with a mobility issue. I'd get them to stand next to a wall. It doesn't have to be one like this with the bars, and then the chair in front. And then you're going to take one leg up onto the chair like that. Okay. If you are more advanced in your practice and you've done these poses before, you can go straight ahead and do Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana 1, which is where we take the leg up onto a ledge, all right, going straight forwards. But for those that are staying back a little bit with the practice, maybe the first time, you're going to bend your leg like this, and then eventually you can slide your foot. You don't need a belt, so you just need the wall and a chair. You can slide your foot so that your leg is straight, all right? And if you want to go higher, you can put something underneath your foot. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so let's start with the right leg. And you don't have to change around. You can just take the right leg up, then the left leg up. So bring your right leg onto the chair or your right foot onto the wall. Again, remember that I'm showing for the beginners. So the more advanced people, you know what you're doing, you can go into the full pose. You can put your left hand on your hip, you can put your right hand at the wall, and just make sure that this left leg is really pressing back from the thigh. So don't be like this. Push that thigh back, push the left heel down. Now you can also lift your arms up. So if you're not holding a belt and you're okay with the arms up, you bring the arms up. You can even keep one hand on the wall, but with the arm up. So stretch the arms up and then see if you can slide your foot away. Slide your foot away so that the leg is straight, either with the arms up or the arms down. Just bringing this arm down in case it's affecting the microphone there because it's on my shirt. Okay, and then bend the leg again. Everybody bring the legs back down to the floor in Tadasana. And let's just stretch the arms up in between. Can't do this enough because you can feel the tummy area getting lifted and stretched. And that creates all that life and circulation in the body, and it helps with any depression, any anxiety in the chest. This lifting up is really helpful. Okay, so then we're going to take the other leg up. So left leg. So either left leg to the wall or a lift, straight already, or start with the leg bent. Get used to being on one leg. Press the top of the right thigh back, push the right heel bone down. Those that can, take the arms up, lift up. And then if you can manage to straighten that left leg, straighten the left leg. Take a few breaths. If you need to keep the arms down, you keep the arms down. If you've got high blood pressure, for example, any heart conditions, keep the hands down and just work on lifting the chest that way. If you stretch your arms down, the chest will also lift. All right, and then take that leg down, release, come back to Tadasana. Once again, arms up and lift up. and then bring the arms down. Okay, so we're going to go to the side now. So this is a lateral turn. We're going to turn one leg out. I'm not going to mirror image because I'll be turning my back to you. So we're going to bring that leg here. So now I've got my back to the wall and I'm turning the leg and bringing that leg up onto the chair. If this is difficult with hips, you can bring the foot further forwards or just repeat the last one. So anyone that's got a recent hip injury or operation, you might want to miss this one out and just repeat the last one. And those that know the pose, you can take your leg straight out to the side for Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana 2. Okay, so decide what you're going to do. So I've got my standing leg, it's just a little bit off vertical, just a little bit, but I want to try and grip that outer hip in, press the inner heel down. I've got the wall behind me to hold on to, and then I'm going to press my right foot into the chair like that. And again, we can take the arms up. You can take one arm up, you can take both arms up. This is more groin and hip work. The other one's more hamstring work. And then I think I'm going to bring my arms down for a second while I stretch this leg out, because it's not as easy to stretch the leg and take the arms. And then you can bring, if you've got room, bring the arms out to the sides in this one actually. Stretch across the shoulders, upper chest. Again, this leg can be higher. You can take it to the top of the chair, the wall, put it on a block. Try not to turn your hips. Try and keep the pelvic heads facing forwards. And then when you come out, bend this leg carefully and release the leg to the side. So I'm going to turn my back on the camera so you can see me from the back, see where it all goes wrong. Okay, so I'm in Tadasana. I'm going to take this leg out to the side. So you can put your hands in front of you as well. In fact, I'm going to move a little bit because I need more room to straighten that leg. You can put your hands in front at the wall. You don't always have to have your back to the wall. And then we're going to lift the toes of the left foot, slide that foot out. So you see how the standing leg stays straight up and down. So I'm not doing this. Keep the left leg strong. Pull up on the outer left thigh. Press down through the right heel. And then stretch the arms sideways. Lift the sternum bone, lift the chest. Keep that left buttock in. And keep the two frontal hip bones facing the wall in front of you or whatever you've got there. All right, and then carefully bend that leg and come back. Okay. All right, so what we'll do next, we're going to do a forward bend over the chair. And everybody can do this actually. So we're just going to take the hands onto the chair seat with the legs vertical, like so. So you're looking forwards, and this is called Uttanasana. It's an intense extension of the legs. I'm keeping my chair at the wall because when I show you the next bit, I want to show the chair at the wall. And I think it's safer if you do have the chair at the wall, if you can fix it that way, or if it's a very solid chair. Now, those of you that haven't got your chair handy, you can also go down to the floor or go down to blocks. But for those that are using the chair, keep your hands on the chair seat. Now, from here, we're going to step back into chair dog. So you can either stay here, any arthritic wrists or broken wrists or anything like that, you might want to miss this next bit out, but we're going to walk the legs back so that the spine gets a full extension, the arms get a full extension. And can you see my hands are turned out, so my fingers are turned to the sides. And I'm pressing my thighs back, pushing the heel bones down, lengthening through the sides of the body. And I'm enjoying myself. Love this pose. It's just, oh, it's like the way the cat looks when they stretch in the mornings, you know, it's just, it just feels so great in the body. Okay, but you might not feel the same. You might have very tight hamstrings, tight shoulders. So breathe deeply in and out through your nose and then walk forwards and come up. So, you know, I'm holding it, I'm talking, but you can come out and go back in again. So should we do that one again? Let's do that one again. So step your feet back.
and you're pushing that chair away. So that's why it's at the wall, so that I can push really quite hard and the feet can come back almost until the heels don't quite touch the floor. It's a great way to do dog pose when you can't properly weight bear onto the floor with your hands, or you're struggling with a back problem or something like that. Okay, and then come forwards again and come up. Great. Okay, so we're going to look at some standing poses, some classical standing poses. We're still going to use the chair for some of you, but for the first one, I'm going to fold the chair up for a minute. For the first one, you don't need the chair, you just need some space. And we're going to take the legs wide apart in a moment. So again, if you've got balance issues, be with your back to the wall. Be with your back to the wall, just so that you've got something there, which means put your heels right back against the wall and then step your feet apart, okay? Otherwise, you're going to step your feet from the center of your mat, evenly from the center of the pelvis. And we're going to stretch the arms out for a moment. So even if you've never done yoga before, these standing poses, you can break them down into very simple movements and get a lot of work in the legs. So this first part, feet parallel, push down through the heels, lift up through your leg muscles, extend your arms. There's a lot of work going on here, and if you hold this for a minute, you'll soon know about it. Okay, so we're going to keep the left foot where it is, but we're going to turn the right leg out. So the right foot is in line with the left arch. And I'm going to move my left foot slightly further to the left, because it's not quite long enough. Now, the pose we did on the chair, where some of us had the leg bent, we're going to repeat that, but from this pose. So just bend your right leg. And don't let your knee go over your ankle. Make sure the shin bone stays vertical. Yes, the thigh can go down to the floor, towards the floor, so it's parallel to the floor. But initially, you might find you don't quite have that release in the groin, so it's okay, as long as the knee and the shin stay vertical. And try and keep your spine in the center. Don't lean to your right. Lean more to your left, as if someone's just gently pulling your left wrist back to the left side. If you can go deeper, go deeper. Look along your right arm. Lift your chest. If your arms get tired, put your hands on your hips. Or, if you're a trainee teacher, work harder. And then press into your feet, straighten your right leg, turn your feet to the front. Rest your hands on your hips. So that's called Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior Pose 2. There's 3 warrior poses in our classical system. Okay, let's swing those arms out. And we'll keep the right foot where it is. As long as your feet are parallel to each other, you don't have to turn the right foot in every time, but turn your left leg completely out. And see that that left heel is in line with your right arch, that the foot of the left foot is turned properly so that the thigh can rotate from inside out. And again, focus on the back arm, back foot, bend the left leg. A little pop there for me. Bend the left leg. So this area here, you know, it takes time to open, but it should be soft. It shouldn't be gripping there. But the buttock is firmly pressing forwards to open that groin. I'm cheating a little bit because I can rest my shoulder on this bar, actually. It's quite nice. See if you can go a little deeper, but again, lean back into the right arm. Look along your left arm, and then inhale, come up. Turn the feet in, and we'll walk the feet back together. And we'll always come back to a Tadasana position. And it's quite good just to stand in Tadasana and take a few breaths in between the standing poses. So you kind of collect yourself and let your mind settle. Because you know when you make lots of movements and shapes, the mind kind of goes with it. And so you sort of bring yourself back to this mindfulness, this quietness. So it's not always about speeding up and just getting lots of poses done. It's also about reflecting. You know, a bit like life. Take a moment to reflect. Okay, so the next one we're going to do, triangle pose. I'm just going to move this stuff out of the way now. This is where the chair comes back in, because for some people with bad backs, you need to have a chair. No doubt about it. Or, A wall is good as well. You can use a wall. You can use the back of your sofa. You can stand, if you don't have a wall, because it's surprising how little wall space we have in the houses these days, you can stand with your back to the sofa as well. And we're going to start the same way with the feet wide. This back foot can stay where it is, this leg can turn out. And then we're going to keep the leg straight because it's a triangle pose, and you can bring one hand onto the chair like that. This arm can either go up diagonally to the bottom arm, or it can be on the hip. And of course, those that are more advanced, you can take your hand down to your shin. All right, I'm going to stay with the chair. So let's do that. And if you don't have a chair, but you have a bad back, you can just practice the turn of the leg and keep the arms here and just go as far as you can manage. You know, don't worry about reaching the final destination. Okay, so let's go to our right side, whichever method you're going to do. And even if you're using the chair, you can walk that hand further and get further along. Sorry about the pinging in my phone, if you can hear that. So we're going to extend that left arm away, extend the right arm away to where you can manage, but watch that you don't lean the chest forwards and the buttocks back. Keep the right buttock deep in, keep the top of the left thigh back, turn your belly, turn your chest, head back. Those of you going further, catching the leg, the arm goes straight up. And then inhale, come up, turn the feet, because this one stretches more on these lower back muscles. So if you've got, I'm going to turn that off actually. If you've got, it's very nice to be contacted, but it's a bit loud. If you've got any impingement here, herniated discs, etc., any weakness there, then that sideways bend, unless you've got the release in the hips already, it can overbend. So that's why we're using the height, so that you keep open in that area. Yeah, so I mean, you know, any movement is going to create a reaction in the body, and some of those reactions will be familiar, some of them will be unfamiliar, and nothing we're doing today is dangerous at all in any way. It's all harmonious for the body and the mind. Okay, so let's do the other side. We'll extend the arms out. Make sure the right foot's parallel to the edge of the mat or slightly turned in. Turn that left leg completely. And obviously the closer you are to the chair, then the easier it is to go down. The further the chair away is, the further you have to stretch. So pull up those kneecaps, extend to the left. You can keep that right arm up or bend the elbow, put the hand on the knee, put the hand on the hip and roll the shoulder back. And then those that can go further, you can stretch that arm further, or just stay upright, or just stay here, or put your hand against the wall and just practice going towards the shape. Those that can go deeper, you can take your hand down to your shin, but again, watch that your buttock doesn't go back. Keep the left buttock in, top of the right thigh back, and turn and look up at your right hand, or keep the head forwards. And in fact, those with high blood pressure or any dizziness, you can keep your head down, or any neck pain. All right, now stamp into your feet, lift yourself back up, turn the feet to the front, walk the legs back together, and stand up in Tadasana, and just take a few deep breaths again. Deep breath in, deep breath out. So you might feel some more heat in the body, you might feel the blood flowing in certain areas, you might feel a bit breathless like me because I'm talking and doing it at the same time. And the other thing you need to think about, or I encourage people to think about, is when you get lots of instructions in something, you know, and you're trying to keep up with the information, that reflection is often helpful to make sense of things. And if things don't make sense, it's okay. Just let things wash over you and revisit those things another time. Often we learn the lessons much later on, even though the message is the same. You know, it's sometimes, oh yeah, okay, now I get what she means. Okay, so the next standing pose, I think we've only got 2 more standing poses, yes. Now this is one of my favourite ways to do this pose, and it's very accessible for everybody. And the more advanced people like this method as well, because they can stretch forwards more. So Something for hopefully for everyone. Now you need to start with your feet under a chair and your hands on the chair seat. Okay, if you've got a wide armchair that you're using, you could put your hands on the armchair sides. That's quite helpful. If it's a soft cushiony thing, it can be quite difficult because you're pushing down into that softness. So make sure it's a firm thing that you're pressing into. But your feet need to be as close towards that chair as possible, if possible underneath. And we're going to take the left leg back. So now this is a forward-facing pose, standing pose. And you can move your right foot slightly to the right so that when you look down, your heel of your right foot is in line with the heel of the left foot. You may find that your left heel turns in. That's okay. But if you're trying to keep your pelvis level with the front of the chair, you need to turn the heel out. So let the heel lift if it needs to. Let the heel lift and stretch that leg. Those of you that run or cycle or do lots of things where your hamstrings are shorter, you might find, and calf muscles as well, this is quite strong. So you can stay here or you can go further. And you can rest your head on the chair. Keep the legs straight. Try not to let the right hip go out. Keep the left hip rolling forwards. Stretch back into your left heel. Those that want a bit more challenge, you can lift your right toes off the floor so you're on your right heel. This is really strong in your calf, so just be careful. Yes. All right, and then look forwards. Walk your hands back towards you and then step the left leg forwards and just stand up in between. My watch is telling me that I have to be careful of the time. Yes, because I want you to have a relaxation before we finish. And then we'll do again, second leg. So this time we've got the right leg coming back. Really stretch that right leg back. Can you see how far I'm taking it back? I'm not just going to here. I'm really trying to stretch the inner groin back towards the inner knee and then stretch that heel back. And I've got my toes turned forward so my heel doesn't touch the floor. That's my really tight leg, tight calf. If I turn the heel in, I can do it. But I want to just get that hip round today and just practice the stretch of the legs. And then we're going to walk the hands forwards if possible. Release the head down towards the chair. Pull up the outer left thigh. Press the front of the right thigh back. If you can take the toes of the left foot up towards the ceiling. So you're only on the heel bone. And that just lifts the whole of this outer leg up, stretches the calf more. And then place the foot down, bend the leg, step forwards, come up and stand up. Roll the shoulders back. Okay, so we're going to now sit. Now, those of you that have any issues with sitting on the floor, you can sit in your chair. But sit right on the front edge and you're going to stretch your legs forwards. Make sure you're not going to fall down off your chair if you're sitting on the front of the chair. So if I show from the side, you hook your buttock bones on the edge of the chair and you hold here. And again, if it's an armchair, you might be sitting a bit further back, but you use your hands and lift yourself up. And then you can join in with what we're going to do. Okay? So I'm going to stay sitting here. But if you're sitting on the floor, you also need to lift yourself up. So maybe sit on a cushion or on a block or something like that. And we're going to twist. But first of all, keep your legs extended. Push into your heels. Lift up the front hip bones. Lift the side body. And I'm hoping my mum's doing this with us because she loves her chair yoga, by the way. She's 90. Hang on, how old is she this year? 94 this year, actually. And she does her chair yoga still. So there you go, Mum. One for you. Take the arms up. Inhale, and as you exhale, turn towards your right side. So you take your left hand across your right thigh, right hand behind you, and twist. So feel, it's a nice open twist. So turn the belly, diaphragm, chest. Don't forget to turn your head as well. like so. Keep the legs really firm, so don't forget about them. So it's very easy for this left leg to just drop, then you fall off your chair. So you've got to keep the legs really active. Now that is how we meditate in the poses, by connecting to every part of the body that's involved in the pose, which is every part apart from the face is involved. Even the eyes to a certain extent are involved. So when you have that mindfulness in your practice, in a simple pose like this, it draws you away from all those distracting thoughts. Okay, come back to the center, raise the arms up, lift up. Big breath in. As you breathe out, turn to the left side. So that left hand can come behind, right arm across, or if you can't get the arm across, you just keep the hand on the other thigh, but try and twist so that you're getting this lovely spiraling action in the spinal muscles, in the abdominal muscles. Look over your left shoulder and then come back to the front. And then we're going to go forwards. Now, those of you with hamstrings, lower back problems, you can bend your knees now if you're sitting in a chair. If you're sitting on the floor, don't bend your knees. So if you're sitting in a chair, you're going to hold your outer hips and go forwards like this and take the arms down. Or you can do it with your legs straight, but just be careful, because if the chair's not against the wall, you might push the chair back. I'm going to come out of the chair now and sit on the floor with you. So you can have a foam block, a cushion, or a folded blanket. Sit on the very front edge or sit on the floor. Now we're going to go forward. So everybody raise the arms up, press your thighs down, extend forwards, reach towards your feet. If you don't catch your feet, don't get depressed. Don't be disappointed. Just bring your hands to where they come to, okay? Because it's all good. You know, if you're feeling the pose, then that's the main thing. And the pose isn't the end perfect result, by the way. You know, like life isn't perfect, but we get to where we're going, but just sometimes on a different path, sometimes to a different destination. So where our expectations are, you know, it's good to have plans, goals to work towards, but make the goal more about how your body feels, not what the picture looks like. And then if you can go further forwards, fine, but not at the expense of undoing all of that good work. So try and keep your upper back deep in, try and keep your legs straight, try and keep your breath smooth, release the head down. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. All right, and then we're going to come up, straighten the arms, come out. Start with finish where we started, just with the legs crossed, or the legs can be in Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, or if you're on your chair, just stay seated on your chair just for a moment. And then we're going to lie down. So I'm not including any inversions because I don't know who I've got watching. But in a normal practice, we would include things like headstand, shoulder stand. But if you're doing a general practice and starting out in yoga, just keep it simple. Keep the shape simple. Practice what you remember. Practice what feels good. And then gradually, as you continue your practice, your experience will build. Your teacher will guide you through more things. So when you're doing Shavasana, relaxation, you need to always lie down with your legs bent. Don't have any clutter around you. Just have a blanket for the head. And if you've got lower back issues, you could put your legs on a chair. So the chair can be underneath here, or some cushions underneath the backs of your knees. And then extend your legs and let your legs relax. Extend your arms, slide the shoulders under, let the arms relax, let the eyes quieten. Take a few deeper inhalations, deeper exhalations. Let everything soften. And imagine all those shapes that you've created today, you know, how that's permeating. The effects of those shapes are permeating through the cells of your body. So when you close the eyes for meditation, or you're lying down and you find it really hard to keep the brain quiet, that is completely normal. You know, I don't think even the saintliest of saints can keep their mind completely 100% quiet. So this is where the practice of yoga is really helpful, especially in Iyengar yoga, where we focus a lot on the outer body first, building the foundations, connecting the mind to the body, and then using the body, using that connection, also connecting the mind to the breath, but using those connections to actually go deeper into quietening the mind. So it may look like a very physical practice, but it's actually a deeply mindful practice, which is why, you know, when you get hooked, you stay with the practice. I've been practicing now for over 30 years. And it has been my spiritual guide, my spiritual practice for all that time, ever since I first walked into an Iyengar yoga class. So whatever you find hooks you in and helps you to develop that quieter side of yourself, stick with it, and it will become your best friend, your forever best friend. So you can either stay in your Shavasana, or you can roll to your side and just come up and sit and just let the eyes gently close. The other thing I will say as well is that when you are in your Shavasana or any relaxation pose, if the eyes don't close, don't force them. So speaking as someone who's had their mental health problems in the past, when the direction comes to close the eyes, maybe someone very well-meaning comes to put an eye bag over you, if it doesn't feel right, take it off and let the eyes be open. Especially with some forms of depression, you need that kind of peripheral vision just to stop the panic. And then when you find that the body really releases and the mind softens even more, then the eyes will come, the eyes will close naturally. They'll come to close of their own accord. So never force yourself to close your eyes because you think you have to. And take everything step by step. Be compassionate to yourself. Take breaks, take quiet moments, take nature. And thank you very much. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for watching, and let me know any questions. And until next time, bye for now.